I see two oak trees. One is to my left and one is to my right. And everything feels like it's blue.
Hmm, that's very
I mean,
interesting.
the trees aren't blue, they look like normal trees. But it's just like the feeling I get about where I am. It's just like this feeling of blue.
Now, as your vision expands and you look around, what else do you see today? Describe the scene as I'm there with you too. What are you looking at?
It's a long road in the middle of a forest, and it's paved blacktop. It looks like some sort of walking trail. It feels like we're supposed to be moving forward.
Right.
Um,
Let's go
yeah,
for
just yeah, I see a lot of trees as we move forward. Mm.
How does this place feel? Is this a happy place? Or are there any emotions?
I I feel my heart chakra is like at the heart. It feels very light and joyful and playful. I'm not sure why. I don't see anything that's calling to my attention just yet. As we make our way to the end, there's an opening into a field,
Hmm.
and there's crop circles.
Oh, well, that's very interesting. I'd like to explore that. Before we explore that, though, I want you to look down. You said the pavement, it was paved, the road, is that correct?
Yes,
And as you look down, you notice your feet. What's the first impression or feeling that you get when you look at your feet?
barefoot.
Hmm.
Uh, I have a toe ring on,
Hmm.
feminine, human. Um,
And are they big or small feet?
mm, they're small. I feel like I'm an adult,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like dainty, delicate feet.
Mm-hmm. And as you look up the body, what are you clothed in at this time? What are you wearing? What does that feel like?
A dress. It's a very flowy dress.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a guitar strapped to my back.
Hmm.
And my hair is very long and flowy.
And you said that at the end
Mm,
of the road, there's a clearing and you see crop circles.
yes.
Do you want to go and explore that with me?
Yes.
Okay, let's go over there. Can you tell me, have you seen these crop circles before, or is this a place you come to often?
Mm,
How does
it
that feel?
seems like we just stumbled across this. We've never seen this before. But this is a normal walking path. But this is the first time that there have been crop circles here.
How does that make you feel? Is there any emotion that comes up, like anxious, happy, sad, scared, and when you
Um,
see these?
I feel very peaceful. It's like there's an inner knowing of what this is.
Tell me about that. What is it?
Um, it feels like it's like this person that I am and this memory has felt out of place or left out or like she didn't belong. And the crop circles are like the validation of there's something else out there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm not so weird.
Okay.
Um,
What else do you notice
and
around the crop circles? Do you see anything else? Is there in this field, is there any animals or other people? What else can you tell me about this place?
it just feels like there's a light that I can see coming off of the indentions that have been created in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I can visibly see the light. It's golden light, and there are symbols etched in within the light. And it's like the light is lifting up towards the sky.
Mm-hmm. And as you follow the path of that light towards the sky, do you see anything in the sky if you look up?
I see the ship.
Okay. And did you say it was nighttime or is it daytime? How does that feel?
It's daytime.
That's fine. And you see the ship and you see these symbols in the light. Can you tell me, do these symbols look familiar? Are they symbols that you recognize or is it?
So it's like light language symbols. They're angelic. Um, it's direct source code information that has been given, and it's thought to be going down into the ley lines of Earth in this spot to be
Mhm.
received by Gaia and to reach the feet of the humans that would walk along this path, um,
As you
to
look at
bring
this ship, have
harmony,
you, oh, I'm sorry.
resonance.
I'm sorry. As you look at the ship, have you ever seen this before or encountered this ship before? How does that feel to you? Familiar or is this something new?
So this ship is the Galactic Federation ship and is a very large, almost like a golden city that is just floating up above this area of the crop circle. It's very unusual. It's not like how you would think an alien ship would look. It just looks like a floating golden city.
Wow, that sounds amazing. What do you want to do with that? Do you feel like you want to approach it or go towards it? Or what feels right for you to
Yeah,
do?
yeah. I feel like I'm lifting off the ground and
Mhm.
kind of just floating up towards it. And there are no doors. To get on the ship, it recognizes you vibrationally and you kind of are absorbed by it. You like it's like a teleportation. You teleport within the ship. And the first thing or the first person I see is Commander Ashtar. Um, he has a blue shirt, vest, uniform, very long golden, almost silvery golden hair,
Mhm.
piercing blue eyes.
Does he say anything to you or gesture to you at all?
There's a vibrational exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a lot like divine father medicine. So it's like feeling supported, feeling welcomed. I feel like I'm home. And he says, "You are home. This is your home. And this place is one of many homes that you have held
I'd like
across time and dimension."
I'd like for you to do me a favor. I want for you to look at your feet again now that we're on the ship.
Mhm.
What do you see? Can you tell me when you look at your feet? What do you see? Like, has anything changed?
Um, they're different. Uh, I don't really have feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have angel wings.
Interest.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and something about there are seven earth angels. I am one of seven earth angels that are within the Galactic Federation of Light. Um, and we're under a soul contract, which it's free will, but it's a contracted agreement. Me and this group of earth angels, or angels who have come to earth, to do the work of the Galactic Federation. Um,
What can you tell me about that right now? Like, what is the work right now or the mission right now that's so important?
Paying attention to your place in space, feeling Gaia around you, the space of Gaia, the timelessness. You're losing the tracking of time.
Mm-hmm.
There's an increase of like being absorbed in the present moment, and what's needed by all, especially light workers, but all beings on earth right now, is to pay attention to the presence of Gaia within and around you, focusing on the feet, the energy coming up through your feet, and also the feedback that you're sending down through the grid. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of um, cleaning of the ley lines of Earth. A lot of ancient information is coming forward through the ley lines. So, ancient wisdom, the Library of Alexandria has been coming forward. This is a library that has been burned, but the encoded information held within that library exists through the ley lines. And so when certain people are doing energy work for Gaia and sending light through the grid, they're able to receive some of that ancient encoded information, and that's becoming more present, the ancient ways of being. That is what you will all need to return to, is the ancient ways of being, that the structures on your planet are failing and they're falling apart at the same time. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it all unfold before you. And the more you can reunify with what you already know is true, the more you can unlearn, relearn, the better each one of you will feel.
Where is this information feel like it's coming from? Do you have a sense of knowing or is somebody telling you this information?
Um,
Do you know?
Let me ask.
Who are you asking?
Commander Ashar,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get a sense of if the information is from me, my angelic essence, or if it's coming from him for the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
and
fine.
then I'm seeing a scroll,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
a golden scroll, and it's in my hands. And it's like they're trying to show that these words are coming from me. It's
Uh-huh.
my own essence and understanding of the current energies and current trajectory for Earth at this time.
I'd like to ask you more about the ship. Where is it? Are you going somewhere, or where is the ship at right now?
So it's outside of Earth in your present time. It sits outside the atmosphere of Earth. It has the ability to cloak,
Mm-hmm.
but it is one of many ships that are just kind of in the outer regions of Earth and support.
Okay. How long has the ship been there? Does it ever move, or is it always like stationed there? What do you know about that?
So there's like I just saw like an immediate echoing of lots of ships
Mm.
and lots of different realities. They're saying it doesn't really stay in one place, but as we understand it, as the human beings understand it, it is in one place outside of Earth. But the ship goes all kinds of places. It's like traveling through the multiverse,
Mm-hmm.
across all time and all reality. It's never still. It's like everywhere and nowhere at the same time. That's how they put it. But in linear time, yes, it stays here.
I see. And are there others on the ship with you that you see, or?
Mm. So everyone has like, it's like their original blueprint is on the ship. So like for me, that's the angelic essence. Not everyone is like me. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people are more like they might have a dragon essence, or maybe they're Octurian or whatever it is. That is here on the ship. It's an extension. The beings that are on this ship are truly on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
living out a human experience, but completely attached to this ship, to the wisdom held within the ship, and
Mm-hmm.
their soul blueprints.
And
They are masters.
mm-hmm.
These people are masters. They have lived through many lives, many incarnations in service to love and light, to source. And they've chosen to assist this planet as she is going through a transformation.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to ask you, when Amanda is not on a life assignment, what does she normally do? Is she here on this ship, or what does she do when she's not normally on Earth doing a life assignment?
Mm.
What does that feel like?
So they're like showing me how I get in like this diamond thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little pod. It's like a little diamond pod, and with the other angels, we like create ley lines around different realities as I understand it. So using sound and
Mm-hmm.
creating configurations in these pods We try to bring harmony around certain realities. It's to help with the organization as realities are formed or they come into being to just have like certain encoding of harmony in a certain place at a given time.
If you could give a message right now for people, like for humanity, like what's the most important advice or message that you could give us right now about this time and place that we are?
Um, so it's all coming down to your ability to go within the hearts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go into the hearts, the shields, the walls, all these little places that are blocked, all the anger, all of that. It's time to let go of it, to dissolve it, even if it's scary, and to go into the hearts. This is what's needed for your world. That you create a new way of being for everyone just by going into your own heart, into the presence of you from a heart center, and also feeling into the place and space of Gaia. And that is also a very heart encoded frequency. And when your heart and Gaia's heart merge, which is continuously happening, it is allowing the birthing of the new to come forward. So drop in to the place and space at which you are now. And this is the best advice we can give you, as there are tons of timelines
Mm-hmm.
continuing to collapse, both personal and collective. The more presence and grounding that you can find, rooting into earth, really feeling the support of earth. We recommend Tai Chi practices, getting a sense of what your chi is, the feeling of energy from earth. This will greatly support you and nourish you as you all are getting used to being within a space of no time, unfolding and responding to the vibration at which you are all carrying.
You mentioned that timelines are collapsing. What is causing that? What can you tell me about that?
Gaia is going through dimensional shifting herself. So everything exists within the multiverse. And so there was like a linear reality that all of you that are here and all of you that are listening to this now, you are all on that linear reality.
Mm-hmm.
That was the world as you had known it. And then things started lifting up a bit higher, and you were existing within many realities at a given time. And it just keeps lifting because Gaia's consciousness, it was very low when you were on that linear reality. Your vibrations were very low and dense, which is why your culture was a certain way, why you had certain structures and systems in place. While all of that is lifting up, and you're existing within many multidimensional realities at once. And each of you intuitively and instinctively can feel this, which is why your technologies have been created, which opens up potential realities for each one of you. And you're all having to discern as a collective what you want the new reality to be, because it can be anything that you choose. There's no one way it has to go, there's no one outcome. And it's all what you choose in the present moment. So, as a collective, as you're feeling and sensing one another, you're choosing what that highest timeline is, what that unfolding of Gaia, what her what the outcome of her awakening and her evolving and unfolding is going to be. And we'll also let you know this, that this is a continuing process for her, that even when this current collective is no longer incarnating, that the unfolding is still going to continue, and it's just going to expand and evolve more and more.
So this raise in vibration that is causing different timelines to collapse. Would you say that this is maybe causing the what we know as the Mandela effect to happen? What would you say about that?
Mm. Yes. And it's also to strike fear into you. Um, it's to create like confusion within the present place and space that you're at now,
Mm-hmm.
so that you start questioning things in a more fear-based direction. Stay anchored in your heart, because we will say that anything that is fear is illusion. It cannot harm you,
Mm-hmm.
and it will not harm you. Anything that is real is love. And to stay focused on that, and to not worry about the things that bring you down into fear. You can think of these as nothing more than glitches. It doesn't mean anything has gone wrong. And it's not like some agenda to harm you, that your
Mm-hmm.
spirit cannot be harmed. And to remember that as well, this is a very important message, and that you cannot be harmed. Your spirit is with Source now. You are fully protected, no matter what it is you see out pictured in your reality. And the more you can anchor into your own knowing of that, and to really help yourselves feel secure, the more change you're going to see around you for the higher good.
I notice that you are making a formation with your hands right now. Some people might call it the pyramid of power, or it has many names. What can you tell me about the formation that you're making with your hands right now? What does it mean, and does it help you channel? What do you have to say about that?
Amanda channels light language through her hands.
Mm-hmm.
This is facilitating a healing through her solar plexus, but it's also channeling that same healing for those that will be listening to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just universal light being channeled through the vibration in her words, as well as the gesture coming through her hands.
Very interesting. I see that formation a lot. I see a lot of people doing that lately with their hands. And so all right, I want you to follow me now. We're going to drift and float forward. Thank you for the information that you have given us. Follow my voice as we drift and float, floating and drifting deeper and deeper into relaxation, letting go of any thoughts or worries as we drift and float. Now, I'd like to ask that the subconscious higher self of Amanda please step forward. As you are one with Amanda, you can freely use her voice to speak. As you relax into the body, you can feel free to scan the body from head to toe. You can use any parts of the body to speak that are required. Calling forward the subconscious higher self of Amanda. May I speak with Amanda's subconscious, please?
Yeah.
Hello, how are you today?
Quite well.
Thank you for coming forward to chat with us. I appreciate it.
Mm, I'm happy to be here.
As you feel into the body that Amanda is in, I'd like to ask for you to scan the body and just let me know if you find any blocks in any of the chakras or anything.
There is a block within the throat chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Many upgrades have been occurring through the throat chakra, but there are so many attachments to like the external world
Mm-hmm.
needs to be cleared. Her channel is going through an upgrade. So the auric field around her, she is learning how to keep it very clear. And so we're just going to remove those attachments,
Thank you.
showing the clarity within the channel. There is a wall within the heart.
Mm-hmm. Why is that? Where does that come from?
The feminine lineage, so the female ancestors. It's just a pattern
Mm-hmm.
that is being worked through. She is learning how to surrender to the divine masculine, and there's like this stubbornness and resistance.
Okay, I'd like to
Um,
dig a little deeper into that. When you say it's from the divine feminine lineage, let's go back to really find the root cause of that. Do you see if that's attached to a specific person or lifetime? What is the root cause of that block?
um, the family, the men, the partners that the women choose
Mm-hmm.
tend to be men with anger problems
Okay.
that are more stern, controlling, and it's like the same pattern over and over again. We can go back to the very original. It's a medieval period of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, and this partner is just chosen for safety. But the irony of it is the pattern that unfolds within the relationship is not feeling safe.
Okay. All right. Let's cut the ties to that original timeline, please. It's just any cords that are linked to that timeline. Just imagine that we are cutting those ties and the wall will naturally fall down. It is around the heart. Just allow that to happen. Clear that space for her. And you mentioned the throat chakra earlier and that you were going to help her by clearing the throat chakra. Would you say that this is, we were talking before the session about if there was any, we are talking about visibility. And so would you say that this block in the throat chakra is that impacting her visibility or her wanting to be seen and speak her truth? Is that linked in any way?
Oh, yes, absolutely. There's too much worry about how things are being perceived,
Mm,
and it's distorting the work.
mm-hmm.
It's distorting the creative products. You need to be co-creating with the divine and listening
Mm-hmm.
to what we are saying. And so the guidance has been to take 3 weeks off from creative projects, from work, to
Mm-hmm.
rest, to re-nourish, and to allow the channel to get really, really clear and clean. And
Okay.
so we gave her the analogy of old spiritual masters that lived in caves,
Mm-hmm.
and they attracted students, they attracted their work. And the way that they did this was through their energy alone. That's how people were able to find them. And then word of mouth, of course. And so this is the same for all of you that are spiritual practitioners. Is it's not about the algorithm. It's not about being liked or accepted or conforming to the standards of your current day and age. You are all here to be very unique, rebellious individuals. It's in your encoding.
Yeah.
And so the work you produce needs to be a reflection of that. Get your channels very clear and allow the energy to inform those that are intended to be your students. There are soul contracts for those that you are destined to work with. Know that this is the path of your destiny, and not there's no interference. Nothing can stop it. And this will clear the distortions from your field. It will clear the blocks to visibility. Remember, you're here on a mission, and you might know that on the surface, but really know it in your whole being and body. And then you won't have to be comparing yourself to anything that you're seeing or sensing in the outside world. That will keep you from being hooked up to that particular blockage.
Thank you for that information. And as we get ready to wrap up with this session, we have just one more question. Is there any underlying beliefs as you check and you really feel into her belief system that are blocking anything for her as far as either abundance or clients, or anything in life? Do you find that there's anything as far as her belief systems that's blocking for her?
It's like I'm not allowed to. That's not for me.
Mm.
That's for other people, but not me.
Okay, let's dig into that belief. What's the first impression? Is it stored in the body anywhere? Do we find that in the body?
It's stored within the liver. There's anger
Okay,
associated with it.
let's dig a little deeper into that. Digging into that feeling, into the liver. Is there a person or an event that is linked to? What's the first thought that comes up with that?
Mm, it's more of the distorted encodings from the female ancestors. And the
Mm,
female ancestors are also here, and they're asking for this to be cleared from the family line.
okay. Let's go ahead and do that today. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that you are raising her vibration, her channel. I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
ask you to really just sink into the body as much as you can, anchor into her body right now. I want to ask you if you're able to clear her channel and raise her vibration for her today. Just allow that
Yes.
to come through and to clear the block. Just really allow that to happen.
And she's feeling chills in her whole body. And this is just the purging,
Mm-hmm.
the releasing.
Okay. And is there anything that you can activate for her today? Any activations or energy upgrades in addition to vibrationally?
Yeah, there are many keys and codes being turned on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for doing the work on her body today and for raising her vibration. You know, she's really, really going to appreciate that and everything that you have come forward today to show her and to tell her. And you know that the information and advice that you've given is going to resonate with the time and place where she's at in her life now. I'd like for you to follow my voice again. And I'm going to ask that the subconscious receive back to where it belongs with much love and thanks for all of the information that it has been given today. I know that she is really going to appreciate it. Any of the entities or lives that we were living or speaking to can also recede back into the past where they belong.